Today and tomorrow we are going to be in John's Gospel chapter 7, and necessarily we are scratching but a surface. Perhaps if you have a Bible like the NIV, you might want to take some notice of how they split this up. Some of the headings, although not scripture, are actually helpful to us. So in chapter 7, we begin the context, and what's going to happen for us is we're going to see the confrontation between Jesus and the religious authorities intensify. The battle for who is Jesus and right belief into Jesus, and here actually the life giver, the illuminator, intensifies. And the false wants the truth out of the way, not only out of the way, but actually destroyed. So a very brief thought about tabernacles. Tabernacles being an obligatory annual celebration for the Jewish community. And it is based a little on the harvest is safely gathered in. That theme is there. But as you review it through Leviticus, and again, take time to do that, please. It's a celebration. It's a celebration because God had led his people most faithfully, and there it is from Sunday, most faithfully through the wilderness. And now he had brought them into the promised land. And God's action was to be celebrated. And indeed, the temple itself, the literal physical temple, was a celebration of all that God had done and the place of his literal and visible presence. And so the big question is, will Jesus as a Jew be going up? And he does go up, but secretly. He goes to the festival because his time for death had not yet come, although he completes his observation of all that had gone before in the Jewish celebration. And in that time he goes into the temple and he begins to teach. And the question is, where did he learn to teach like this? Because he doesn't have a degree from a recognized university. Of course, he would have been taught well by Mary and Joseph and the hidden away community in Nazareth. And Jesus says, my teaching isn't my own anyway. It comes from my Father in heaven. And then he asks the question, why are you trying to kill me? And they just accuse him of being demon possessed. Then he comes into that place of talking about Moses yet again. And he contrasts what Moses' law laid out, which had come from God. And he says, look, even on the Sabbath you can circumcise. And of course Jesus was in trouble, deep trouble, for claiming to be God and being Lord of the Sabbath. So there is division, great division, and there still is. The cross will be the great divide on Good Friday. Who is this Jesus? And now let us drop down too briefly. On the last and greatest day of the festival, lots of water is used. There are lamps burning. The light is there. And Jesus says, against a background of water drawn from the pool of Siloam, anyone who's thirsty, come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me and goes on believing me, as the scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them. By this he meant the Spirit, whom those who believed in him were later to receive. Up to that time the Spirit had not been given, since Jesus had not been glorified. The Spirit comes to us through the cross on Good Friday. Jesus gave up his Spirit, and now he who is the source of life sustains us, and we become a source from him for others. Enjoy these first 39 verses. Take it slow.